Have you ever thought about what happens when we run out of the fossil fuels that power our world? It's a sobering thought, isn't it? We're living on a planet where our primary energy resources are rapidly depleting, and the hunt for renewable, sustainable alternatives has never been more critical. The ticking time bomb of fossil fuel exhaustion is pushing us to innovate, to think beyond our atmospheric boundaries. This is where the concept of space-based solar power comes into play. Imagine if we could harness the power of the sun, not just during daylight hours or in favorable weather, but continuously and in a way that's more efficient than ever before. Now let's dive into the world of space-based solar power, or SBSP for short. Picture this: giant solar panels floating in space, soaking up the sun's energy and beaming it back to Earth. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? But here's the kicker: it's not. SBSP is a real concept that's been buzzing in the scientific community for decades. So, how does it work? Imagine a plant basking in the sun, soaking up rays to photosynthesize and grow. In a similar way, the SBSP system would soak up sunlight in space, where the sun's rays are much stronger and uninterrupted by the Earth's atmosphere or weather. These space-based solar panels would convert sunlight into electricity, then into microwaves. These microwaves would then be beamed back to Earth, where they would be converted back into electricity and fed into the power grid. Sounds simple, right? And the potential benefits are enormous. For one, SBSP could generate power around the clock, regardless of the weather or time of day. And because the sun's energy is constantly available in space, the system could provide a consistent, reliable source of power. Moreover, SBSP could significantly reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and help curb greenhouse gas emissions. In other words, space-based solar power could provide a constant, virtually limitless supply of electricity. Now you might be wondering, why go to all the trouble of capturing solar power in space? Well, let me tell you, the advantages of space-based solar power, or SBSP, are numerous and impactful. Unlike traditional solar power, SBSP isn't bound by the day-night cycle, nor does it suffer from weather-related interruptions. Imagine an energy source that can supply continuous, uninterrupted power, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's like having an endless summer day, always shining, always providing. And that's not all. SBSP is a clean energy source, reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and helping to mitigate the impacts of climate change. It's a way to power our world without damaging it, a shining example of sustainability. Moreover, SBSP is not affected by geographical limitations. It can beam energy to remote locations, where other sources of power are either impractical or impossible to implement. This means that even the most far-flung corners of our planet could have access to a steady power supply. In comparison to other renewable energy sources, such as wind and hydro, solar power from space has the potential to provide a much higher yield. The sun's energy is virtually limitless, and in space, we can harness it to its fullest potential. So space-based solar power isn't just a sci-fi concept, it's a viable solution to our energy needs. While the idea of space-based solar power isn't new, recent advancements are bringing it closer to reality. We're currently witnessing a golden age of innovation in solar technology, and space-based solar power, or SBSP, is no exception. In the past, the concept of harvesting the sun's energy from space was seen as a distant dream, something straight out of a science fiction novel. But today, it's a prospect that's becoming more and more tangible. Leading players in the aerospace industry are investing heavily in the development and testing of SBSP technology. For instance, companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are exploring the potential of solar power satellites. These satellites, equipped with giant solar panels, could collect solar energy in space and then beam it back to Earth. In addition to private investment, governments worldwide are seeing the potential of SBSP. Countries like the United States and Japan have already initiated ambitious projects to harness the power of the sun from space. These projects aren't just about power generation. They're about pushing the boundaries of what's possible in energy production, proving that we can source clean, renewable energy from beyond our planet's atmosphere. But it's not just about the here and now. The future of SBSP could see us building solar farms on the moon, or even harnessing the energy of distant stars. With continued development and investment, space-based solar power could be lighting up our world sooner than we think. To wrap things up, let's quickly summarize what we've learned today. We've explored the diminishing state of our energy resources, understood the revolutionary concept of space-based solar power, its numerous advantages, and peeked into its promising future. So the next time you flick on a light switch, remember, that power could one day be coming straight from the sun via a solar panel orbiting high above the Earth.